Good evening everybody and a warm welcome to Behringer, and today I have a progress report for you. And those of you who have been watching my channel of late will know that I've been working on the nuclear transfer terminal, and so this is just a further progress report on that. So if you stick with me, we'll go right to it. So here we are at the nuclear transfer terminal, and in front of you is the warehouse which I previously built. And what I've done to this is I've added some weathering, just to put some stains and some just general dirtying it up and grumbling it up a bit. It's all fairly subtle. I've also added some turf along the bottom there to blend it in with the ground, which is the concrete coloured. I'm not sure if I've shown you my Volvo 240DL, but just in case, there it is. That's a new addition. I've also added some static grass and some coarse turf along here. I've also added this snack burger van here. This has come from where Woolworths and Blockbuster Video was, and basically I have transferred it over here to see what it was like. So I might buy a different type and put it in its place and put this one back. So I just kind of wanted to see, because usually in these industrial sites you sort of get these burger vans and things like that. So I might do a little cameo of people sort of waiting to get their food. As you can see, I've also just basically created an outline for the road, and you can also see two ratio kits in front of you, and one of them is this diddy little hut from Ratio. And basically, if I can just, I can lift it up, this is what it looks like. This is a Ratio kit, I can't remember which one it is, I think it's number 535, it's just a Goodyard hut. And basically, this particular kit probably took me about 10-15 minutes to put together, and then I had to paint it up. Fairly easy, fairly straightforward, it didn't really need any instructions, which was fine. And I can appreciate that there wasn't really much instructions to it, so that was fine. And what I've done is I've bedded it in here, put it on a little plinth. My Leyland road train is here, and now you can see that I've started putting the gantry together. It's not finished by any stretch of the imagination, there's still a fair amount to do, but I will come on to that shortly. And then after I'll just if you just sort of see, it gives you a rough idea of how big it is and how we're getting there. Here we have another new addition, which is another Transit Courier Connect van. There you go, in network rail livery. And I just created a little spot for it to park, and then we've got another little entrance. And as you can probably see here, I've now blended in the background scenery with the foreground scenery, which I'm pretty pleased with, because that seems to have come out really spot on. Because if you just sort of look down there, that's actually where the track actually finishes, just behind that bit of scenery there. Now what I'm going to be doing here is I'm probably going to put another tree here in the corner and blend it in, because what I'm going to do is going to put a retaining wall along here, and then that will kind of seal it up and finish it up quite nicely. I've also added two Pico buffer stops, which need to be toned down a little bit. They've been rusted up, but I want to tone them down a bit because they're still a bit too bright. So I'm just going to tone them down. Also, one of the features that I've done is I've left a little pathway here, and that is basically, so what I'm going to do is maybe have a little scene, so it's just to create a bit of depth, and maybe have like some walkers or a cyclist or a jogger or something, and then make it out like they're going off into the distance, probably down the end there, through the alleyway and round the back. And then what I'm going to be doing is along here, I'll put the security fence, which I've bought. I haven't put it together yet because I've been sort of busy working on other bits and pieces, but the security fence is probably going to go along there. So what I was thinking was the route for it, because I was trying to work out the route, is probably to come across here, and then along this stretch of grass down the middle, and then maybe come across and off the layout here probably, I'm not sure whether or not it'd be enough to sort of go across and follow the layout across and then back up, and then sort of do it like that to have a block section. So I haven't quite worked out that, but that's what I'm kind of going along the lines with. I'm going to scratch build a little handle for the point. So and I'll probably put a man there so it can be like an automatic manual point, if you see what I mean. Just like a levered point, but it would still probably operate the point anyway. And currently I'm operating it from underneath, like that. But what I might do is attach it to a lever and put it on the top there and attach a man to it, and then sort of like move the man as if he is actually operating the point. And I'm toying with creating my own ground signal as well, so I might put a ground signal here. Failing that, I might get the ratio one instead. So that's how it looks like that, which I'm really impressed with. Yeah, like I said, the only thing needs to really finish this really is to start working on the retaining wall really, so it's all these bits and pieces, like I said, the security fence and the retaining wall, but it is taking shape. This gantry, I'll be honest with you, if there was another one that was ready built, I would have bought that one if it was good enough. And if I had to rate this gantry, I would probably turn around and say it was probably a 6 or a 7 out of 10, no more than that. And the thing is, once the kit is finished, it will look the part and it will look great and it will look pretty genuine. But the thing is, it is such a pain to put together. It really is. I've found this quite difficult, to the extent that what I've been doing is maybe an hour or so, or whatever I can spend some time on, sort of like when I can be motivated to do it, rather than try and just do it all in one hit and get frustrated by it all, because otherwise I'd probably end up really seriously messing it up or getting really frustrated for it or throwing it across the room or something, because the instructions are absolutely vague and ambiguous, to say the least. They're in black and white. There's no colour photographs. They provide you with a picture to follow, a colour picture to follow, but it's so distant that you can't really make out where anything goes. And it's a case of just really studying what little information you have and trying to get information through elsewhere, and not even from the kit, because what they've provided you in terms of instructions, it's merely a guide at best. It's not even instructions. I wouldn't even go as far as say it's instructions, because it really isn't one that I've enjoyed building at all. But I already knew this before I bought it, and also because of the expense, because it's cost about £20 to buy this particular kit. It's not going to be perfect when it's finished, because there's still bits and pieces which I still don't understand. I think there's also bits missing, because I'm not exactly sure whether they are missing or whether they are there as part of the kit, but there's no mention in the instructions as to where I'm supposed to get these pieces from. So it really is a pain to put together, and for 20 quid I think it's rather expensive, considering it's just a load of plastic. And not only that, you've then got to spend the extra money to actually get it painted up. I'm hoping that once it's finished it will look the part, which I'm sure it will do, but it hasn't been a fun build, and it's a pity, because I really do want to do this layout justice, this corner justice, as I do with the rest of the layout. But I just really think that this is such a focal point that I really wanted to get it right, and I just think it's such a shame that the instructions are just so terrible, and for the amount of money it costs to actually purchase the kit, I just think, it's not really good enough, to be honest with you. I mean, I can understand this little kit here, because this little kit just came in one sprue, and it was just pretty straightforward. It's just kind of like 5 or 6 pieces, so you sort of knew without the instructions how to put it together, so you can understand that the instructions would be minimal. But something like this, it's just so fiddly and so awkward to put together, and to have instructions which are just so vague, it's just not really fun to build at all. Anyway, on that note, like I said, it does look good when it's as it is, and I'm sure it'll look good when it's done. So thanks for watching. Feel free to comment and subscribe, and I will speak to you all when I have more information to give you. So bye for now.